It is a big occasion today because today we're here to celebrate the 69th episode of this episode podcast. And I feel very overdressed for this occasion, but at the same time, you guys are underdressed for this occasion. But
I think the real question is, did you tie that tie?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, YouTube. Dude, there's a video with like 3 million views, and like I'm probably half of them.
I think I watched that same video too.
Yeah, no, it's just a dude just standing there and he just goes,
Bro, you know, I've watched how to tie your tie videos so many fucking times and I still can never get it perfect.
Well, it's not about getting it perfect. It's about hiding your fuck ups, you know?
No,
I have a suit jacket, so, you know, it's kind of hiding the bottom of it, which it's kind of longer.
When you sit, you're supposed to unbutton your button.
Excuse me?
When you sit, you're supposed to unbutton your button. No. You're only ever supposed to button your top button.
That's stupid.
That's the way.
You know what?
This is the way.
We have to escape the Matrix, right?
That's it. Like, have you ever watched a video where like a nice guy sits down, he always unbuttons that top button?
No, I don't.
A nice guy.
I watch V-Bucks videos just to get my game going on the hit game Fortnite, made by by Epic Games, you know, where you could play as hit heroes such as Kratos from Super Smash Brothers and Mortal Kombat 9. But aside from these big revelations, today we are talking about Mob Psycho 100, Season 3, where Mob has his own revelations, both as a Sigma and as a mental nutcase. But thoughts, people, on this season while I go get my water?
Well, we'll wait until you get your water.
All right, let's see. Let's see the walk. Oh. Damn, look at that fucking dumpy, dude.
He got them fucking toes out for the girls, dude.
Episode 69, you know. Pulling out all the stops.
Yeah. Trev, your shirt isn't tucked in.
Yeah, tuck in your shirt.
I said, suck my wiener. I'm wearing a fucking shorts, you know.
I'll make my fucking button. God damn it. Thank you. That's how you're supposed to wear it. That's how you're supposed to wear it.
You sit down.
My name's Mitchie. I'm not wearing your shirt.
Unbutton your fucking top button.
No. Suck it.
You got... Yeah.
I hate you. Be a gentleman.
This isn't anything to do with Mob Psycho, but I realized just looking at this background, it feels very reminiscent of our Cromartie backgrounds. And that's a nice callback in a way.
It's not a nice callback. Nothing's nice about Cromartie ever. Why the fuck would you want to call back to that?
Yeah, I got a mix of Cromartie and Mike Guy from this picture.
That looks like Mike Guy, yeah.
Dude, it's definitely the best show ever, and it always finds its way into different medium.
It looks like if Mike Guy got teleported into the Cromartieverse.
Dude, that's just him when he realizes the main villain is only weak to taijutsu. He's like, I'm the one. That's the face of a man knowing that he's about to fuck up the main guy. But, like I said, thoughts on season 3?
Season, honestly, kind of fell flat for me a little bit compared to season 2. Wasn't as good. Not nearly as good.
Just a lot of filler, or just a lot of...
Well, I think it's just the fact that it's season 3, and I'm tired of the mob formula where it goes filler, mid-season boss, filler, final battle. That's how mob goes. I'm just kind of got bored by it because I did not like the fucking mid-season boss at all. It made no sense to me why Dimple would be so fucking like he would just switch, be evil, and then switch because Mob said, "I trust you." Because he made fun of Mob's shirt. He's like, "Oh, I trust you. Now we're friends again."
Yeah,
and Dimple's like, "You're right."
Because he was the only person that was honest to him. You know, like everyone else lied to Mob and said the shirt looked fine, or you know, maybe you just wear your jacket, or something like that. No one like ever flat out told him, dude, that shirt looks fucking dumb.
Well, yeah, I get that part, but why did Dimple all of a sudden be like, "Oh, he trusts me? Okay, well, I'm gonna stop trying to kill him."
Well, because he didn't know what he wanted. He didn't like, you know, those moments where you don't need to hear something until you hear it, and it just kind of hits you.
No, I never had that
Well,
moment once in my life.
well, why don't you stack your books differently?
Fuck.
Shit on.
No, but
Attack, dude.
like Dimple, like his whole character is like, I'm just gonna take advantage of Mob and use his powers for my own benefit, and hopefully I can obtain my dream of becoming a god. But usually that dream of becoming a god is just branching off of his main thing that he's wanted, is just someone to bond with and be a friend. It's kind of just generic shit, you know, like I always wanted a friend, and I'm like, whatever. Like I came into this kind of hoping like Dimple would get killed and Mob would learn like a lesson about trusting like spirits and stuff, or I don't know. But you know, they went the whole friendship route, and I thought it was kind of cool. And in the end, I still got technically what I wanted with Dimple sacrificing himself, you know, by launching the broccoli into space.
Sacrificing himself, and
I
he just
know.
fucking pops back into the. Oh, I got
That-
summoned by the energy
that-
of this vortex.
Yeah, that kind of annoyed me.
It ruined Reagan's moment too. I was like, "Fuck,
Mhm.
man." Reagan was having such a fucking good moment, and then it's just, oh, Dimple's here.
How are you holding him back? Oh, I got cheeks now. Look at my cheeks.
And
Dimple.
it pisses me off too, because like if there was gonna be a season 4, yeah, okay, we want Dimple there, sure, fine. But that was the last episode, so why did they feel the need to bring Dimple back?
I don't know. They wanted everyone to have
One
their
last
coup de
hurrah.
grace against Mob.
Yeah.
They're pretty much just checking off a list. Pretty much like, all right, brother, blonde Thanos, the dude that had a
Boss
gun
man.
as his weapon, the double helix guy that got completely bodied by Mob, and everyone else. He's a complete L of a character, you know, in terms of fights. Even the boss from season 2 made a return, and he fought with his son, and you know, he realized, he was like, no what? F this. Let's get
I
out of
love
here.
that.
Let's get
I
out of
love
here,
that.
dude. Like, you know,
Scene.
very
was good.
few actual characters just go like, know what? This ain't my problem. This is his problem now. Like,
He
Mhm.
cares more about his son and his wife than he does about saving the world. So
yeah, it shows
Fuck
good
that,
character
absolutely.
growth. Yeah.
People would absolutely do that in real life.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. It was just very. I think the other thing that hurt me for this season was I wanted to watch it in dub because I want to do other stuff on the side. And my God, did switching from dub to sub flip it from like a 3 to a 7. It was fucking miserable watching it dubbed. I hated every second of it.
Really?
And then I switched it to sub, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I hated the dub so much.
What'd you hate the most about it?
Just the fact that it didn't feel like Mob Psycho, because I watched the first 2 seasons in sub, and it just didn't feel like the same show.
Oh, okay. So that's just the you
Yeah.
problem.
Because like I got so used to like Reagan's little antics, like 'cause he has very like some couple quirks that the Japanese actor does that the English actor doesn't,
Yeah.
and just
They just
better.
bring a different level of
Mhm.
acting to the character. Like the thing that changed too was like, I don't know if they changed Mob's voice actor for season 3, but he definitely sounded different from the other 2 seasons, which threw me off.
See, I didn't like. I never heard his voice from the English dub in the first seasons, but his Japanese sub voice actor is so like monotone and
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
get
it's really good. And I thought it was pretty good for the dub, but then this season started, I was like, whoa,
yeah.
whoa.
He sounded like just a generic anime character. Like, he
Yeah,
didn't sound like Mob.
yeah, which
It's weird.
kind of threw me off, but I kind of just shook it off because I was like, yeah, I just got to commit to it. You know, I watched this whole thing dubbed so far. Not going to switch it up.
hmm
Dude, yeah, I binged this entire thing like Saturday night, dude. Like,
I binged it all last night.
dude, call me whatever you want. You cannot deny the fact that I am a top grade procrastinator. You know,
Same.
you give me an hour to work on something, I'll work on it really hard for 5 minutes. You know, that's just
we
the.
had we had a month to do it, and we all probably watched it last night.
Or over
But
the
we also would
weekend.
have forgotten everything if we did it earlier, so it just makes sense.
Yeah,
I watched it last night and I already forgot half of it.
I watched it all last night too. So.
Yeah. So what was it?
Yeah, I it does when you call it out, Mitch, it's actually like so true. Mob Psycho's recipe for seasons, where like it starts out with some random side gigs, leads up to like a mid-tier boss, and then a couple other like side missions or like story building, character building moments, and then final boss over the last 2 to 3 episodes.
And over
And
the
I felt
course of
like
Go ahead.
yeah, no, I felt like for me what I missed, being that it was the last season, was just like that sense of loss in one of our characters that we knew for the first couple of seasons. So like Dimple, perfect opportunity for him to sacrifice himself. Yeah, I had a random ass switch up, which I mean I can see that happening. Maybe Dimple wasn't a bad guy; he just wanted to be seen by mob a certain way, whatever it was. But it was just perfect. You know, the way that he said farewell, half his body, golden body was gone, and like the
Great.
fucking broccoli launched into space. Like also fucking random ass broccoli boss. It was weird as hell.
That was
So
fucking.
trippy.
I did not understand that at all. I don't like the whole broccoli shit. The whole like mob broccoli was. I don't know. It was fucking stupid, dude. But you know, Dimple's goodbye. The way he said goodbye to Mob and said, "This is gonna be my last command, like my last brainwashing. You need to leave right now." I was like, "Fuck, that's fucking great." And
Mhm.
Mob's walking out, and you hear Dimple getting his ass beat. I was
And
like,
then every time Mob turned around, you just saw a normal Dimple just waving.
Mm-hmm,
And I was like,
mm-hmm.
oh, this kind of hurts, you
"That was
know?
good.
I was like,
Really good."
damn, this kind
Yeah.
of, this hits.
How he didn't let Mob see that he was getting his ass
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah, that
Like,
was really good.
And Mob only
And then
realized until he was home that something
yeah.
happened.
And for me also at the end, I think the biggest one was maybe Hanazawa, which was like the blonde Thanos or blonde Gerald, whatever you want to call
Dude.
it. Like, dude, this guy had every reason to fucking die. He did not.
He got his ass fucking beat, dude.
And
Really
how
bad.
badass would it have been that he sacrificed his own safety to save all like the people around him, all the civilians, and just for him to get fucking buck ass naked, dry humping,
Lost his hair
fucking dick in
again.
the ground, and just fucking planted there, dude.
And then he still gets up and he's like, ha, you think you won? Bitch. And he does like his cross leg thing and lifts up like buildings worth of people.
some
It's like,
fucking JoJo character. Yeah.
They couldn't.
Yeah.
They
he's got that
couldn't have
Sigma
killed-
grind set.
They couldn't have killed anyone in that final fight because then Mob would have never like they needed to end it on a happy ending. And if Mob had killed anybody there, they would not have ended happily because Mob would have never been able to forgive himself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, and the characters understood that, so that's why they try to protect other people.
yeah.
I'm laughing at shit, what's the brother's name? What's Mom's brother's name?
Oh, Ritz
Ritsu.
Cracker.
Ritsu, yeah, thank you, Ritsu. Yeah. We're like the whole time, like when they had their face to face in that final fight and like the counter kept going up, like I don't think they specified that it was Ritsu until at the very end it was like
Correct.
Ritsu's countdown or whatever, 100%. And it's just
Mhm.
like butterfly moment, everything's like trippy. He's like, and boom, just gets fucking slapped, dude.
Mob's like, "Bitch, what is this?"
You see his
Still not
perspective
nearly
too.
strong enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just see him just get like 1 second he's on the ground, next second he's flying through the air. I was like, oh, man, my balls dropped, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
thank
like,
you.
wow, Mitch predicted this, or Mitch wanted this, or Josh wanted this, like the
Yeah,
two
yeah.
brothers fighting. And
Yeah.
like it happened, but it wasn't like
It wasn't
as
good.
satisfying as it
Yeah,
could have
yeah.
been.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. That I remember talking about season 2, how I was like, oh, I can't wait. I hope that the brothers fight each other. It's gonna be sick, and like Ritsu's gonna be kind of like a bad guy, and Mob will convince him to be good again. And then when this started happening, I was like, this isn't how I wanted it to happen. And yeah, they definitely didn't specify. I thought it was like the internal voice of Mob was gonna go 100% and like come back or whatever. And when it was revealed to be Ritsu instead, that was awesome.
Okay. Did anybody else think Mob was dead? I would 100% thought
Oh, yeah.
Oh, from the car crash.
I would 100% thought Mob was dead, and then it was just his power was controlling his body. 100%.
No, I didn't. I knew he wasn't dead because unfortunately I spoiled it for myself a while ago when I watched the clip of Reagan running the mob with the intro music playing. So I already knew like Mob got to a point where he broke. So I watched this entire season knowing it was building up to that point.
Well, no, what I'm saying is,
well, then when he got hit with the car, I was like, he's not dead. He's fine.
Well, no. Even after he got so when he got hit by the car, I didn't think he was dead. I was like, they're not going to kill Mob. Obviously, they're not going to kill Mob. But then
when he fade away,
when he got up and he was just fucking just dead. Like there was no he was just controlled by his powers. I thought his body was dead, but the powers were controlling his body. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I thought
makes sense.
I thought it was like a corpse that the powers were controlling. 100%. I thought, and then I thought we were gonna end it with like fucking Ritsu and Reagan like defeating Mob's powers and then just holding a dead Mob. I thought we were gonna end really badly, but we didn't.
Mitch, you just want just dread and stories, you know.
I agree with Mitch. I agree with Mitch wholeheartedly because it's like Mob's whole thing was never wanting to go psycho and never wanting to hurt people, and he was making he was doing some serious damage and putting plenty of people in danger. I was like, I don't know how we're gonna come back from this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why when the brothers were fighting, I thought that originally I was like, oh, Mob's gonna have to beat the shit out of Ritsu. Hopefully he doesn't kill him. And then I was like, is Ritsu gonna have to kill Mob right now? Like, especially when he was like, I know what I can do, or like, I know how to save you. I was like, what's he about to fucking do?
Yeah, bro, Ritsu, what the fuck was that, dude? I know what I can do. I know how to save you. His ass fucking wiped off the screen, dude.
Stop walking forward, brother. You scared me when we were younger, and I was always afraid of you. And now it's happening.
And Mob must really fucking hate Hanazawa because he beat the shit out of Hanazawa and he kind of just let Ritsu go by with just a slap on the wrist. Like dude beat Hanazawa near to death, and then he's just like, Ritsu fuck.
I would argue part of that is that Hanazawa put up a lot more of a fight and kept getting in his way.
I think Mob's emotion, or the Mob side versus the power side, he had a little bit more. Slightly had a little bit more control because this was like later in the day where he's already fought like everyone. Like Ritz Cracker and Reagan were like the last line of defense. So, you know, Mob has already witnessed all these people, and you could see him definitely holding back his power as much as humanly possible. Where the fight against him and Blonde Thanos, he had no say at all. He just had to watch.
That Reagan scene was so good, man, when he's running.
Dude.
And rest in peace to the Body Improvement Club.
Yeah, they got bodied. The dude almost died.
The vice captain or whatever now. They forgave him.
I really did enjoy the last episode because it definitely shows the amount of growth Mob has gone through like season 1, because if you remember in season 1, like he completely whiffed on getting the soccer ball. When he was running down the track, he was completely winded and probably would pass out, but the last episode showing him hitting the soccer ball, kicking it back into play, and running not perfectly, but not being like as tired, you know?
No, I think it shows more growth for Reagan, that whole sequence.
Well, they both can grow.
I'm saying, but I think that last episode, Reagan fucking stole the show for that last episode, man. Like he always does. Every time he's on screen, he fucking steals the show. But...
No, I would disagree because the whole thing about that episode to me was to show that every person has like an other side to them, and whether or not they like that side or hide that side, it's always part of them. So it was Mob's showing that he could actually conquer that side of him that he's always pushed back, and accepted himself for who he is and grew from it. So it was more a lesson on accepting yourself. And yes, Reagan accepted himself as well for being a fraud and owned up to all his lies. And I thought that was a really great moment between him and Mob.
Yeah.
And him running through skyscrapers while they were falling. I'm like, dude, if he was like, I don't know how he lived, bro. Like some of
Plot
those
armor.
falls.
I've worked out. So all you do is work out and you can fucking run.
Dude, I did
through.
like 3 push-ups and my shoulder hurts, you know? Like dude's like I'm pretty sure everything would have been broken with just the amount of force all those like explosions had around him.
Yes. But that was fucking cool. When the music started playing, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it played the opening one music, the countdown music.
I mean, my experience with anime is still getting there or whatever. Obviously, this has been helping, but anytime I think you were about to say something, anytime they play the opening in the middle of an episode, I'm like, shit's about to go down.
Yes, anytime they play the opening, it's going to be good.
Especially in Black Clover, that's always the best.
That's like the first thing I always think of is they always play the goddamn first Black Clover opening, and you know about some crazy fighting shit's about to go on. Dude, the animation in this season 2 was like they definitely tried way harder on this one. Like just like I'm not saying the other seasons were terrible or anything. They're all really good, but this one they tried like, you know, with like the more subtle like details with like petals and shit, like hands actually going through it and stuff. Like they're trying to add a lot more detail this season.
So the animation was great, but so I just want to unpack my favorite episode for so many reasons. It was the alien episode.
I was about to say don't say the alien one.
Bro. Amazing, dude. But okay, so first I fell asleep while I was watching it, and I woke up and I was just like, what the fuck is... what was the ending? It was when they were walking up the mountain, and I was like, the fuck's wrong with the fucking animation? The animation for the beginning of the episode was so bad. They looked like fucking like it was awful. I don't know what the fuck. They're like, oh fuck, we ran out of budget. We forgot about this episode. We just gotta have our preschoolers draw this one. It was bad. And then the ending, the end credit scene was so fucking funny.
So I like talking about Cromartie vibes, bro. Like that was a fever dream of it. I was like, I refuse to believe that this I really hope they just wake up from a fucking dream, you know? Like that's how like the aliens themselves had like the really like anime eyes, like the most anime eyes I've ever seen. And then
it's a copy and paste, dude, all over the fucking screen.
Well, then it cuts to the middle schooler kid on the fucking bed with like kiss marks all over. I'm like, dude, this Sigma fucking male fucks, dude.
And he was with like the alien princess too, not just anybody.
Bro, that end credit scene was the greatest thing ever, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It just chronicled his journey through the fucking solar system into their planet, and then
days turned to weeks. I slowly found out how to communicate with them using my brain.
Yeah. Oh my god, I loved it. Like I was kind of low-key hoping when that first happened. I was like, holy shit, are they gonna do a spin-off with this kid as the main character? But no, they just send him back to Earth.
Good. Because I wanted to watch
spin-off, dude.
I would love for them to like harken back to it in like later end sequences, you know, like, oh yeah, he's still missing, by the way. But no.
Funnily enough,
they kicked him back to Earth.
When, you know, Mom was really going through and spiraling, and he was thinking about Reagan and like his power side or whatever you want to call that other personality, was like, he's never done anything for you. The first thing I thought was, nah, he took you guys to see the aliens. Remember? That happened.
That was a sweet fucking filler. Just
he wasn't using you. He just took you to see the fucking aliens, and he was chilling out on the fucking beanbag while y'all played games.
And then gave him his pajama shirt as tribute.
Bro, I fucking love Reagan. He's such a good character, man.
I wanted to say before I forget that I love that they kind of had Mob's whole psycho phase be resolved by Reagan, and it wasn't like he walked up to the girl and she was like, no, I've always liked you and your powers never scared me, and like that's how it got settled, because she doesn't deserve that moment. Reagan deserved that moment.
Yeah.
I would have a fan theory right now. Who did she have a crush on?
Some dude that we never.
I thought that
no, she said she was lying.
Yeah, exactly. I think
really?
that after she said she was like testing Reagan to see if
Yeah.
he actually had
Oh,
good
yeah.
advice to give to
I
her
remember that.
friend.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Or if he was like a fraud or not. And I mean, I don't know if she confirmed it or denied it. I think what season was that? That was season 2, maybe?
2, probably, yeah.
So
But I think based on the fact that they've apparently had several phone conversations and
yeah.
she didn't outrightly reject him, but she said, I don't feel that way about you yet, or I don't have those feelings for you yet. I think
Fuck them.
that if there's anybody that she likes
You know
at
what?
all, it's Mom.
I don't blame her. She sees like the entire city blow up and then a tornado coming towards her, and she's like, I'm gonna wait. And then
Yeah.
after everything
voice is really shaky.
subsides, you just see Mob walk up. It's like, all right, obviously, you're the tornado. I'm not putting this in my bedroom.
I was annoyed. First of all, I was annoyed by how much attention she was getting. Because like Josh said, I feel like she didn't deserve the final arc of this show. So I was like, I was just annoyed by that. And second of all, I was like, bitch, what are you doing? There's a tornado ripping the city in half. Go home.
Yeah.
Run
So like,
away.
especially since she stayed, she clearly likes him to some degree or whatever. She was, I mean, all it said in the sub was like his voice was really shaky. So like, oh, because he was nervous, you're gonna wait around. Like, clearly she wanted to be there and she wanted to see him. She didn't feel that way yet or whatever. So
Go home. Like, what, you're gonna risk your life to meet some fucking bowl cut little loser?
That's just how she is, you know. When she says no to all, like, pretty much 70, maybe 90%
city.
of the fucking
That was
dudes going to
so
school.
That was so cringe. I hated that. I fucking hated that episode.
Why? Just all the
This is
dudes.
cringe, man. It's not.
How's it
I don't know,
cringe?
It
Everyone
is.
loves
What do
her.
you mean?
Middle school love, dude.
I didn't
Oh my
cringe at all. I was
God.
like, get shit on, nerd. Get shit on, nerd. Get shit on, nerd. Oh, here's a printing press with all your crying faces. Num 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 num. Fuck you.
I wasn't cringing at the dudes. I was cringing just because the whole fucking concept of it was so dumb. It's like, it was fucking just stupid. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like how the final arc was all about her. Because she had like maybe like 6 scenes in the entire show, and now she has the end goal.
Yeah, her and Mob's like relationship isn't really like crazy, but I guess I can understand why Mob is really into her, because she's like one of the first people that didn't reject him for his powers and ended up not caring about his powers to the point where she got bored with them, and he was like, oh my god, like this is like the first person that doesn't want to use me for my powers or doesn't see me as a freak or anything. So
yeah, it wasn't that she didn't reject him, it was that she didn't even like care about him. She just still viewed him as normal even with his powers.
you know.
I also wanted to go back a bit because I just wanted to say that I think that the change in Dimple to like pursue godhood and like be a villain and stuff makes sense given the fact that he was buddy with Mob for like the last season and a half or whatever, and then when he was on his fucking high horse, he just turned to Dimple and was like, I think you need to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. I'm not quoting exactly clearly, but then he was just like, oh, the one friend I thought I have doesn't actually like me. All right, well then here goes my villain arc. I think that makes sense, and then having that be restored and realize that, yeah, Mob is still my friend, that he would change on a dime and realize that that's what he wanted.
I just like there was no what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I just lost it.
Well, I will say I was happy it was Dimple that took over the fucking broccoli and took over like the cult and brainwashed everyone, because I was like, all right, cool. Because now we have like actual conflict here. Because if it was some generic like dude that was doing it, then, you know, Mob probably wouldn't have much passion for him. But, you know, Mob explicitly didn't want to fight because he didn't want to, you know, exercise his friend.
Well, I would have been fine with that if they did the same way they did the fight in season 2, because my favorite fight in the entire show was Mob versus that dude that trapped him in the alternate dimension. That didn't have any build up. That was just a fight.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
With the daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
Are you guys bothered at all by the fact that like Dimple taking over this cult was no different than how we met him too. Like they met him.
It's just how his character is, yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean,
there was no difference there, or what?
I feel like he like learned a lot from that. He certainly made it a lot more efficient and found a way to get like everybody hooked. So I think maybe he had some growth and learning in that or whatever. But I see what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know the season. What the fuck is the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's
Resolution, catharsis.
No, it's like when stuff's happening, and like the audience feels like they're scared a character's gonna die. What is that word? Not suspense, but like the stakes. There was no stakes in this season because I knew the entire time no one was gonna die.
Yeah, that's kind of the downside of Mob Psycho, because
there was no stakes at all.
Like literally no one dies. Like at least that's what made me happy about Dimple's sacrifice, because like now there was consequences for having this giant broccoli here for the longest time and allowing Dimple to do what he wanted, and it was consequence for him trying to obtain godhood. You know, this was like one of the few times where like it just didn't work out for the show, but they just bring him back for the final episode and they're like, oh yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah, fuck all character growth.
Send the dumb big ass broccoli to the sky, you know. But then Dimple found a tornado and made it back. I was like, okay, what?
It's not the first time Dimple's been killed and come back.
Yeah, but you know that sacrifice meant something, you know. And then they just kind of like whatever. I think
that, like you said, at the end, it's the last hurrah of every character, and they just want everybody to have a little bit of time to shine and reappear, even Dimple.
You know, overall, I think I've really enjoyed the Mob Psycho 100 anime. I think it's pretty good overall, but I really hope there's not another season.
There's not. This is the last season.
Good. Like, don't write anymore. Done. Put it down.
Until they do Alien Boys spinoff show, I'm gonna write the mangaka and be like, you better.
He's slowly turning into a Cromartie mangaka.
Yeah,
he doesn't even realize it.
I was expecting that whole thing, like as he was living in space or whatever, like X number of months or like years passed, and then he came back. But it didn't seem like that happened. Maybe time passed differently where he was.
Well, time does pass differently. You know that. Like, if you go further out in space, time is different than it is here. Isn't time fucking wild, dude? Time is a figment of our imaginations. Time doesn't exist.
And then some asshole decided to like, hey, let's change it back an hour.
You know what's fucking crazy, dude? You know, if you fly to Florida, you're technically flying 1 hour into the future. Isn't that fucking mind-blowing? And if you fly to California, you're flying 2 hours into the past.
Yeah. When I flew from
fucking nuts, dude.
When I flew from New Zealand to California, I lived the same day twice.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. So does that mean I could send myself a text before I leave, and then after I leave, my text is a time traveler?
What?
Yeah.
So Josh, does that mean you?
Because now my phone's in the future, in the past.
Yeah. So Josh is a day older than all he's lived. I don't know.
All those days are relative and arbitrary, and we decided that that's a thing.
You want to know what else blows my mind?
That means you celebrated your birthday a day late. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Oh well, that's my birthday is just a day. It's just a day.
Since we're on the topic of things that blow Mitch's mind, you know what else blows my mind? And this one seriously fucks me up. The fact that my blue isn't the same as your blue, or Josh's blue, or Yu's blue, anyone's blue. Everyone sees colors differently. Fucking is crazy to me. Fucking crazy. No one has ever seen the same exact color. Blows my mind.
Quick sneak behind the scenes to the whole audience. We like went back and forth on the color of like the backgrounds for this stream so many times because Yusuf was adamant that we were looking at purple. And then we realized it was like a defect of his laptop screen or some shit. Yeah. And we were just like, oh.
No, I'm not even talking about technology. I'm saying if you were sitting right here next to me and you're looking at that screen, your blue and my blue would be two different blues.
Yeah, because we all process light differently.
What color is the background?
Shut up. I'm not talking about that.
It looks fucking blue to me.
It's obviously
yes. Okay.
It's obviously gold and white, right?
Obviously, people see. Obviously, I can say blue, and everyone knows what blue means. But I'm saying my kind of blue is different than your kind. Everyone sees colors differently because we all view them in different cone perspective or whatever. My mouth stopped working.
Mitch, you tried, and I respect it. Like I would have fumbled there too. Yeah, I wouldn't have done any better than that. So well done.
But it's just crazy, dude. We should do a podcast of topics that blow Mitch's mind. We should do that, dude.
Top 10 for me: cheese nips. Why do they exist? Cheese Its are your thing.
I can try and blow your mind. Do you want to guess how old this one is?
About 2 minutes.
Yes, Mitch. How old is this one?
It can't be older than 10,000 years because God didn't create the Earth more than 10,000 years ago. What? How old is it?
Over 3 billion.
How do we know that though? Did you ask its parents?
We studied the
I'm not gonna have a parent, you fucking moron. When a daddy rock and a mommy rock really love each other.
It's funny you say that. We do sometimes call things the parent rock, so that is a thing.
Dude,
Travis.
rocks fuck. Mitch, how's that make you feel?
Fucking hard.
If it's a parent rock, does that just mean it came from that rock?
Correct. It's like a rock was there, it melted down, and a new rock formed. And so you can guess what originally that it was, and that's the parent rock.
Isn't everything just one rock? Because isn't it all connected? And it's just rocks splitting into other versions of itself?
Yeah,
Isn't it technically all just, aren't we just all on just one giant rock?
Aren't we all just particles of stardust? Really? When we think about it, we're all just stars.
No, if we zoom in close enough, we're just a bunch of particles. Like they're just barely like close together.
You know what else blows my fucking mind? You know what else blows my mind?
We're all living in a simulation.
Well, yeah, you guys gotta leave the Matrix, you know.
Dude, the butterfly effect. I could drop this box cutter, and someone in Indonesia just tripped and died because I did that.
Yeah, because the seismic force coming down from
it. It's called workplace safety.
That's an OSHA violation, Mitch.
Fuck OSHA. OSHA ruins all the fun.
That's an official This Episode podcast statement, by the way.
OSHA
we stand by that.
Dude.
Fuck OSHA and fuck cheese nips. No one likes you.
Time and color, dude. Time and color blow the fuck out of my mind every time I think about them.
Cheese nips and butterflies.
You
ever zoom in on a butterfly? It's the most terrifying creature I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hey, bro, I was scared of that SpongeBob episode when I was a kid.
Dude, yeah.
I was horrified.
It hits different now because they're terrifying.
Yeah, and that's why I was always scared of the butterfly house at the museum. I was fucking horrified.
Same.
Eyes. They're gross. They're gross, man. Speaking of gross, those fucking aliens, though, am I right?
Oh, I see. Okay, that's fair.
No, I thought it was really funny too with what a mob's ego percentage was going up, and you just see him like become more defined and more chiseled to the point he turns into this fucking monstrosity
with a deep ass voice
of pure Camardi and JoJo vibes.
You got fucking nutsack on his chin.
Was it Hanazawa that like just straight up said, "Yo, what the fuck's wrong with your face and your voice?"
Yeah.
He's the only person.
Your voice is different, man. Oh, it's not. I'm still me.
I'm going through my main character phase. Everyone loves me. All the girls are looking at me.
I think I'm popular now.
I'm a pro at taijutsu now.
But
yeah.
Do we want to try and give either this last season or just the whole show a rating?
We have to give Mob as a general rating.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
8.
8.
8.
I was thinking 8 as well.
I was thinking 8.
Wasn't always perfect, but a lot of times it made me laugh. A lot of times I was impressed. A lot of times I was super happy, and especially how a lot of the like emotions came to the fucking word. came to fruition at the end there. I know you kind of had some gripes or whatever, but how certain things came, like again, like the biggest thing for me was that I was always like, dang, it'd be cool to see the brothers fight sometime, and the fact that they did, but I was sitting there and I was like, but this isn't what I wanted. Now I'm worried that one of them's gonna fucking die. So I really liked it though. I think it was, not that I was expecting it to be bad, but it was a lot better than I originally was expecting.
I would give it an 8.462.
Write it down.
All right. Be specific of why it's a 0.462 though.
It's rounded up to 8.5.
Because no, it wouldn't be an 8.6. It'd be an 8.37 probably.
That's rounded up to 8.4.
No, it's 8.37.
We only have one significant. We only have one significant figure in our calculations, so
that's like 8.3.
I would give it a 10, but because the aliens were in the show, I'm giving it a 9.
Dude, that was the best part.
I thought you were to say an 11 because of the aliens.
I think Cromartie's the only one that I'll allow to break the scale, unless I want to annoy Mitch.
I hate this game.
I'll give it a 9. Yeah.
I'll give it 8.37.
The season 2 final fight was awesome. I think the Reagan scene in season 3 was really good. I can't really say that many downsides of the show, honestly. I really didn't like the whole Dimple brought back. I didn't like that part at all. I wish they just would have left him gone. But yeah, the aliens creep me out. I didn't like it. Bad anime eyes. Bad. Stop it. We don't need any more people running around going ooh ooh.
Too many egg
fucking
shaped.
eyes.
Too many eggs on the same screen.
Yeah, so I'm gonna a 9.
But they were pink.
Yeah. Ever heard of Easter?
Never heard of Easter.
Never heard of Easter.
What the fuck?
I know we don't have any merch, but we got to get that on like a sticker or something.
Easter.
Ever heard of Easter?
Easter. Said that so confidently, like that made sense.
Yeah. I'm about to
take
blow
that
this
as a
guy's
lesson,
mind.
kids. You can get away with everyone as long as you have a straight face. The Mars landing wasn't actually a real thing.
We never landed on Mars.
It was all doctored.
Idiot.
That what I say?
You said the Mars landing.
It's the Mars.
Yeah.
We never landed on Mars.
It's fake. Never happened.
I mean, he's out of line, but he's right.
You know what else blows my mind?
It's an 8.
Okay, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I'm glad that we all rated it highly. I would say it's definitively one that I would easily recommend to people to watch.
I don't really think there's that much downside to it.
There's not. Well,
The only downside is it's not always
the fights are good. The characters are likable. I'm sure you can find a character that you root for in the show. Reagan.
There are a couple.
Reagan is such he just pretty much every episode he's in, it's just always good.
He's the shadow MC.
Yeah.
We need to redo my top 25 because he's in the top 5.
Like Reagan is a very good character.
He's fucking awesome.
You just reminded me that I was kind of hoping that how we always get that, like, this is one of Reagan's special moves, that he was gonna like confront Mob and he was gonna bring him in for a hug, or he was gonna do like during the intro when he like puts his hand on his shoulder and Mob's like growing, that he was either gonna give him a hug or do that, and then it was gonna be like, this is one of Reagan's special moves as like a final one of it. And I was gonna be like,
What do you think Reagan's best moment was? Because I still think it's when he just fucking walked into the claw hideout and beat the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, boom, boom, boom. Just fucking smack the shit out of that guy.
Or like he basically didn't even realize that they thought he was their boss, but he acted like it and he was getting away with it.
Literally every time they did, this is one of Reagan's special moves. It's always just a completely over the top scene with him like throwing salt or this is Reagan's special move. He takes the nearest guy near him and kicks him in the face. It's like, whoa.
Is Reagan everyone's favorite character?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, he's 100% mine.
I like Mob, but yeah, I definitely enjoy Reagan a lot.
Reagan's so good, man.
I like Hanazawa because he's like
Hanazawa was my second.
he's like a good
Hanazawa was good.
guiding figure for Mob. He's like a good friend of his.
Mhm.
He doesn't go to the same school, so I think that's kind of unique. He's
Yeah,
like the only
Hanazawa's-
one not from the school.
He's my second favorite.
I did like the umbrella guy that we didn't bring up at all. The new member of the office.
fucking didn't like him at all.
I liked how he
Yeah.
grew and, you know, started running the office by himself.
He just annoyed me.
It was nice, and you saw how much he kind of grew out of his shell a little bit in this season. I thought it was nice. You didn't have to overly rely on Mob for everything, single thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we would have gotten a little bit more of Ginger Killua, but it's fine.
Yeah, he just didn't do much. He was just
Yeah.
kind of there as Ritz Cracker's friend. It didn't even
Yeah.
feel like that. He was just kind of there, you know?
Mhm.
He just
Yeah.
talked shit to his father every chance he got, but still would go to his aid. He wasn't a bad
know the-
character. We didn't spend enough time with him to actually put him on
The
the
one
board.
character that's like I got randomly shocked by was the one like short bald guy from Body Improvement who was like place number 2 in the class.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Whoa.
One character I loved that I wish we would have seen more of after season 2 was the guy that could teleport, the guy with like the closed eyes. He was fucking awesome, and his fight was so fucking cool.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
His fight was so fucking cool. I wish we would have made like a cameo in season 3, but nope. The plant guy did, but
Yeah.
Well, he probably skipped town. You know?
oh yeah, he ran away from Mob. That's a
Yeah,
good point.
he probably skipped town. He was like, fuck this. I'm out of here. The other guy,
Mhm.
plant guy, tried to help him at the end, so he had no reason to skip town.
Yeah, I take it back. My favorite fight was that fight, not the Mob fight. That fight was so cool, man.
With the teleporting guy?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, yeah. But
that was
no,
the one piece of this whole show that I had seen any part of ahead of time was that fight.
Yeah, definitely my favorite fight was the one against Mob versus the head boss of Scar.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, fight on! And just going like full balls to the wall, 100%. That was cool. But yeah, I don't know. Seems like we have run out of stuff to talk about for Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. Unless Yusuf has something else to bring up. I'm not even sure he's breathed in the last 10 minutes.
No, I think I was trying to think of my favorite fight, and I think it was probably the president of Body Improvement versus that one buff
That was fucking cool.
psychic where Dimple took over him.
That was
Mhm.
cool.
I like that one. Small fight, but made a big impact.
All right. But it seems like with that, it's pretty much overly positive what we have to say about Mob Psycho 100 as a whole. So if you were ever curious and checking it out, definitely check it out. Both sub and dub, I think, are pretty good. Maybe the sub does a little bit better, but that's not really surprising when it comes to sub and anime.
Yeah.
But with that, we are going to be ending this podcast. So whoever hung out for the podcast, thank you for hanging out. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And yeah, I will definitely yell at these guys with the top of my voice for missing out on the 69th episode celebration. But other than that, see ya.